Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Celebrate Columbus Show, powered by Johnson Whitkemper Insurance Services. My name is Josh Burnett. As you can see, I've got another amazing guest with me today. I'm so excited to introduce you to this past year's Edna Folger Award winner and a fellow CAP adult prom court member, Krea Hill. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and it's the summer right now while we're recording this, but we are at her classroom at Rock Creek. Teachers never stop working, by the way.
It's true. It's true.
But I'm sure that you've got to know her through different things in the community. And as I talked about, Edna Folger Award is a really big deal in our community. But Krea, for those who might not know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and just anything you want people to know?
Sure. I am a teacher here in BCSC and have been. I was figuring it up this morning. It's my 18th year.
Oh my goodness.
Seems like I was going to say it seems like a long time. I mean, 18 years is a long time, but I don't feel like it's been that long. So I've been teaching here for 18 years. I've taught at Taylorsville and Rock Creek. My husband is Nick Hill, who's the assistant principal at Southside.
Shout out to Nick.
That's right. And then my daughter, Kinley, she is going to be a freshman at East this year. Go O's, right?
Wow.
So we're in a fun part of our life right now. She's excited for that, and I'm excited. And then aside from teaching, I own Columbus Power Elite, which is an all-star cheer program here in Columbus, and it's a big part of our lives. And so all the things.
So Krea, one thing that I know about you is you love children.
Yes.
Through your work as a teacher here at Rock Creek and also with your work at Power Elite. Kind of, why do you love investing in children so much, and how did that passion get started?
Well, I would say as a kid, I felt invested in by my teachers. I went to St. Mary's in North Vernon Elementary, and those teachers poured into me and believed in me, and so did my family. And then, since I was a little girl, my brother bought me a chalkboard for our garage, like a full-size chalkboard. And so I would go out there and play school, and I was the teacher, and I was the student, and I would assign the homework and do the homework and grade the homework and all the things. And so I love coming up with good ideas to get kids motivated. I love forming relationships with people in general, kids, yes, but also their families and their stories. I think there's a lot that can be said about kids and their story, and building them up and making them feel great about themselves and seeing the good that our community has in it and that they have in themselves.
So I got to be at the Columbus Area Chamber of Commerce's annual awards, and it was so cool that you got recognized as this past year's Edna Folger Award winner. Could you tell me, what did that mean to you? Because I know they came to Rock Creek and they announced it, and then you got to be recognized at that annual banquet. What does it mean to you?
So we were going to the gym for the musical that Mrs. Jones puts on every year. And so I'm sitting in the bleachers with my class and just ready to watch the musical. And then all of a sudden these important people, all the people that I've seen throughout my career, they start walking in, and I'm like, oh, what's this for? And so then they start reading the letter of the recommendation that was one of them that was sent to them. And they had mentioned, and I thought, as they were talking, I thought this could be anybody here at Rock Creek. These traits describe so many teachers that I know here, that I work with here. And then they mentioned brag tags, which is a reward thing that I do for kids. They're just little pieces of paper that are laminated, and the kids keep them on a ring. Nice. And at the very last day of school, they get to spin their brag tags at the brag tag store. So the minute they said that, I was like,
yeah, it hit you.
It just hit me, and so many emotions. And it's truly an honor, but it's an honor because I work, again, with so many awesome people, and they build me up, and I work to build them up, and it was just so nice to be recognized in front of Rock Creek, my home.
Yep.
And then, of course, my family walks out, and they were here for that experience, too. So just a lot of emotions, but to be included in a group of prestigious, honorable teachers that are the Edna Folger winners is just incredible. So it was a great honor. I was just very humbled, and I think my teaching partner, Mrs. Glidden, she recorded my speech because there was the podium, and they were like, do you want to say anything? What was I going to be like?
Right.
Nah, I'll pass. No. So I got up there, and there's 350 little faces just looking at you, and the adults in the room. And I have the video, and I took a deep breath, and I just talked about, I do this because it's important to see the good and find the good and create good, which is what I'm able to do in the community with my business and in the classroom with my students, and then helping other teachers with their students. And so it's just amazing. So, yeah.
So, Krea, many people know you for your work outside of Rock Creek with Columbus Power Elite. Can you tell us a little bit about that and, what people should know about Power Elite?
Sure. So, many years ago, I think it's been like 15, maybe my daughter is going to be 15. So, yeah, probably 16 years ago, actually. I was coaching for Kim Smith and Lindsay Linoweber. They owned Columbus Power Elite, and I was coaching for them. And it was time they wanted to step away. And so at the time we had about 40 to 50 kids, and we were working out of Foundation for Youth. So just renting space there. And so they're like, we're advancing our careers. Is this something you want to take on? And at the time I was pregnant with my daughter, and had just been, recently married to my husband. And so I was like, sure, sounds like the perfect time to start a business or take over a business. So today we're at 220 cheerleaders, and then that's in addition to the kids that just come to do tumbling at our facility. And so the place brings us a lot of joy as a family. We're invested in the time, we're invested in the people. Again, kids are growing, kids have a safe place. I always say when kids are there, we know they're not doing things they shouldn't be doing or on their devices or all the things. They're actively engaged. And then it also allowed me to kind of partner with things in the community through that business. And so it's just brought a lot of joy into our lives. And so that was another yes that I was very thankful for. So, yeah.
So the question that I'm asking each of these candidates is pretty similar, but I know everyone has a different answer. Why did you say yes to being a part of Turning Point's Child Abuse Prevention Adult Prom?
Yeah, it's a great question. My philosophy is if it's to help kids, then it's for me. And so whatever that takes, my family and I are all in with that. And so this was maybe a little bit of an uncomfortable yes, just because, well, it's a prom and, that's been years ago. And so.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, and I'm used to working at the cheer gym and not in a prom dress.
Right.
So that was kind of the uncomfortable moment, but if it was to help kids, then absolutely, I'm all in.
And we were talking about, one of the uncomfortable things is, we're asking people to donate money, not their time or their talent. We're asking them for dollars. And, it's a hard time right now for people financially.
Absolutely.
But when we were talking about it, it's like, hey, we're asking because this is a great cause. And Turning Point with their child abuse prevention initiative, they're taking on a huge thing that affects all of our students at BCSC.
That's right.
And so it's like, okay, well, they've stepped up to the plate. We can step up to the plate.
That's right.
And ask people to support them, because we're not just asking you to support me or Krea or the other candidates. We're asking you to support children in our community.
Yep.
And so that's why I knew you'd have a great answer for that.
Yeah, and a wise person once told me, and I told Josh this before we started, that stepping out of your comfort zone is when you grow. And so looking at this as a growth opportunity and just a way to really make an impact in our community and for our kids.
Well, Krea, thank you so much for sitting down to talk about the CAP Adult Prom. I'm really looking forward to the event itself, but more importantly, raising funds for a really important cause in our community.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on today, and vote for Krea Hill.